Good evening, viewers. This is Deepika Lingdo bringing to you the news and events in Meghalaya from the Bosco Media Network. Let us first have a look at the headlines for today. The Sinjuk Wahet LB expresses its gratitude towards the MDA government. Zonal Red Ribbon Quiz competition held at Tura. And after 10 years, Youth Department of the Synod West gets its own studio. And now the news in detail. Today, the 10th November 2020, an awareness program on issues pertaining to child rights, protection of children against sexual offences, misuse of social media, crime prevention was organised by the Meghalaya State Legal Service Authority in collaboration with Maungap Police at Dorbar Hall, Maungap, Kharshiel. The program was chaired by the project coordinator, Meghalaya State Legal Service Authority. The DSP, Crime Against Women, East Khasi Hills, was the resource person. After some 10 long years, the Youth Department of KGP Synod West has been finally able to procure its own sound recording studio to record songs and to edit audio and video files in-house. The vision to set up the studio came about in 2010, and 10 years later, the vision had become a reality. The brand new sound recording studio was inaugurated by the moderator of the KGP Synod West, Reverend G.P.L. Gadao, in a function that was held in the premises of the KGP Synod West office. The studio, christened Good News TV Studio, has been fitted with the latest equipment that are at par with any modern-day studio, having the capacity and facilities to record and edit songs and videos. The responsibility of overseeing the work by setting up the studio was shouldered by the Christian Multimedia Ministry Committee of the Youth Department of the KGP Synod West. The inauguration was attended by Reverend K.B. Snaitang, Pastor in charge of the Youth Department, KGP Synod West, Reverend S.S. Majau, Senior Executive Secretary of Synod West, the office bearers of the Youth Department of the Synod, the members of the Executive Committee, and of the Synod Standing Choir.
Christian Media. Giyem hakapote kapakum kuni. Barkani kabangi gipliya ka studio kapun ba ka Synod Christian Presbyterian Synod gi kalau ka we nakita ki penhon hakapote ki badon kapakum ka studio jangka. Sashi sian gi community.
The Sinjuk Wahet Laskin Block Unit, through its Finance Secretary Danny Shadap, would like to congratulate the government for its bold decision in shifting the headquarters of North Division PWD roads from Juwai to Shangpong village. The Sinjuk expresses its appreciation to the Honorable Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma, his cabinet, and especially C. Umban and N. Sungo, the legislators from the block who facilitated the process. This decision will benefit almost all the villages that are under Laskin CNRD block. Saying that most of the villages falling under the North Division PWD roads are from two legislative constituencies of Laskin CNRD block, hence it will ease down the distance and also the transportation charges from the said office. It will minimize the traffic congestion. The assignments and projects will be more practical comparing to the latter performance because of the distance and the village-specific oriented goals. The Sinjuk would also like to wish the government a successful efforts in their aspiration to construct mini secretariats in some of the districts of Meghalaya. Pandemic is not an excuse but a reason to rethink about general health and wellness. While the state of Meghalaya is doing all it can to battle with COVID-19, the state machinery is also keeping its eyes open and continuing the same healthcare programs as before. Thus, the Meghalaya AIDS Control Society, in collaboration with Don Bosco College, Tura, organized the zonal level Red Ribbon Quiz competition on 10th November 2020 at Don Bosco College. Shri Ram Singh, IAS Deputy Commissioner West Karo Hills, Tura, graced the occasion with his presence. Speaking to the occasion, the Deputy Commissioner said that there is a stigma surrounding the person suffering from HIV or AIDS. HIV or AIDS is prevalent among young people, and this has impacted the career, family life, and the psychology of the young people suffering from HIV or AIDS. He wished that the quiz program will help young people learn and become more aware of the disease. Shri Alexander Karkungor, Assistant Director, IEC Meghalaya State AIDS Control Society Shillong, highlighted on the purpose of organizing the zonal quiz competition. He said that the Meghalaya AIDS Control Society, MACS, is roping in colleges and NGOs to join hands together to help youth be aware of HIV and AIDS. He also informed that the winners and the runner-up at the zonal level will represent Garo Hills Zone in a quiz program to be held at Shillong on 17th November. He added that the Meghalaya AIDS Control Society (MECS) sole purpose is to keep young people live a fruitful and healthy life and be free from HIV and AIDS. At the quiz program, Don Bosco College Tura scored the highest points, followed by Phukan Memorial College, Dalu, and the winners of these two colleges shall represent the Garo Hills zone in the state-level quiz competition at Shillong. The principal of Don Bosco College, Tura, Reverend Father Bivan Rodriguez Mukim, welcomed the gathering. Angela Rangat of the Thma U Rangli Juki Tur bring out few opinions on the mysterious appearance and disappearance of 32,56,715 metric tons of extracted coal in Meghalaya. She said, "It is important to state that only the coal extracted prior to the ban imposed by NGT was and can be transported from Meghalaya."
And the miners and the state government challenged this in the Supreme Court, but the Supreme Court upheld the NGT's orders. But during this challenging, they also said that there is already extracted coal that needs to be transported, otherwise it will leach and it will cause more environmental problems, etc. So because of that, a committee was set up under the then Chief Secretary, Mr. Krofa, to go and establish how much of this coal there is and where. The miners were asked to declare how much coal was lying around, which was already mined. And it was found that they over-declared, and much of the actual physical verification showed that there wasn't that much of coal lying around which needed to be transported. And anyhow, it was also said that the coal which was already extracted, if it needs to be transported, there has to be certain systems followed. There has to be proper geotagging. The transport challans have to be hologrammed and all of that. There has to be proper marking of the trucks carrying this already extracted coal and all of that. Now, after this happened, we find that the miners and the state government keep going to the Supreme Court from 2014 till date, going on seeking for transportation orders. Okay, and using this, the orders that come out from the Supreme Court, so much of actually illegal mining continued. Now, in 2019, the NGT set up another committee under BP Katuki, and BP Katuki was very unsure about the latest figure which the government had quoted, about that there is some 32 lakh metric tons of coal that needed transportation. So he was going around trying to again establish the truth about this amount declared. He was trying to solicit the help of NESAC to look at these stockpiles and where they were. However, the government started not cooperating with BP Katuki committee. And it is very interesting because just in 2019, the government just pulled out this figure of 32 lakh metric tons, when actually the last order of the Supreme Court on 5th December 2018, the declared amount which was supposed to be transported of coal is 1,76,000 metric tons. Okay, so any coal actually that is being transported right now, any trucks plying with coal, we can safely say is illegal, because actually fresh coal is not to be mined. So where is all this coal coming from, when actually there isn't even that kind of old extracted coal that needed to be transported? So we have to call the bluff when the Chief Minister continues to pull out this amount and continues to say that the transportation is legal. Because if we went by that latest number of 1,76,000 of 2018, by now this coal is over. So that is about the already extracted coal, which actually the Supreme Court also said that it has to be auctioned. Okay, and that Coal India has to then handle this coal after the auctioning. So there actually should not even be this kind of transportation interstate. The state government is just supposed to take it from the pit head to the depot. And these depots are supposed to be in these areas where the mining is happening. And after that, after the auction, Coal India will lift it. Which means that any coal trucks with coal plying at this moment is illegal. Now, what is this government doing? Allowing this illegal mining to happen. Number one, it is in contempt of court. Number two, they're actually legitimizing a criminal act, because the Supreme Court was very clear. Okay, let's distinguish now between the two types of coal in that sense. One, which is this already extracted coal since 2014, which was supposed to be auctioned, etc., which again, they inflated the numbers to hide behind that to be able to further mine. And then there is actually illegal coal being mined to date. Now the court is very clear that any illegal coal being mined currently, the MMDR Act has to come into play, and people indulging in this illegality have to be penalized under Section 21. Now it seems that this government is facilitating this illegality because they're mining fresh coal, they're transporting it. If they get caught, what they do is the government seizes it, they auction it back to that person who's mined it at a very low rate, issues transportation challans to them, and happily these people can continue selling this coal. Now, what does this do to me and you? Number one, they are stealing the resources of the state, because if it was legally done, then at least there's some revenue that is being collected. And if a calculation is done actually on the amount of coal which usually gets extracted out of the state, in a year a minimum of 400 crores has to come to the state exchequer. And 400 crores, what can it do for us? Healthcare, education, new hospitals, new schools. Okay, even if we don't do that, let's just divide 400 crores among the citizens of Meghalaya. 10,000 rupees, me and you, every family has to get without doing anything. So imagine the amount of looting that is happening. And this current dispensation seems to be facilitating it more. And this money, which actually doesn't come to us, is just going to the pockets of a few of these people. We know who those representatives are who actually own coal mines, who are in the transport business, who are in the weighbridge business. All of them are making hay and willfully misleading you and me. In fact, just recently, they even revalidated some transport challans, saying that an old challan got revalidated and you can use that for transportation of coal. They changed the routes. You know, coal being mined in Garo Hills, which just needs to go to Dudhnoi, for instance, a journey of a few hours. The transportation challan says it will come through Shalang, through Nongstoin, through Shillong, through Guwahati. Why? Because there's a misuse of this challan. It's being used to pick up coal from West Khasi Hills, and also many times the mineral transport challans is being resold. So here are these miners and these people who are, first of all, in contempt of court, continuing to mine coal when actually there should be no mining in the state. They are buying coal at the seized coal at a very low rate and making at that level an illegality, white again. And also indulging in actual corruption of the transport challans themselves. Okay, so we have to call the bluff of this government. Enough is enough. First of all, there shouldn't be mining. And the government itself is in contempt, and all of them should be held accountable, including those bureaucrats. The chief secretary of the state knows what is happening, and he ought to be questioned as to how he, along with the government, is facilitating this illegality.
Let us have a glimpse of the COVID-19 updates for today. Well, dear viewers, that is all we have for you today. Until we meet again, thank you for watching.